Welcome back to the Daughters of the Moon podcast. Mom and I are here to do your July monthly reading for you, tell you all the energies and what we're picking up. So, the cards that we chose this time are the Mystical Oracle uh, by Tennesse Charpentier and Faces of Oshun by Abiola Abrams. So, those are the two decks that we've chosen. We both chose two cards out of the deck, so we will see how it goes. So,
You want me to go first?
you can start us off.
So which one do we go with?
We can start with one of yours.
Okay, they're really interesting cards. And they're almost like a little scary looking if you look at them the right way. That one's about rebirth. So if you look at rebirthing, it's like starting over. If you think about, okay, if whatever isn't right in your life right now, wash it away and start rebirthing to new things that you want to come your way. Think about yourself starting like your new babe when you're older and you can do things through work and all the rest of it. So rebirthing is about thinking everything, not just on the material side, but on the wholesome side of your soul, your heart and soul. So if you think about rebirthing that way, think about how you can put things into order for your own self. Rebirth the things you want to come your way. Let it come and put the dreams out there about what you're wanting to come your way and just go with that because rebirthing to me is starting over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. And I think it's really interesting with this because it's like she has a hole in her chest there. So it's like whatever heartbreaks and whatever you've been through that has really caused you to kind of be downtrodden or not things going well for you. It's like July is the sense of time where you can totally reinvent yourself, reinvent who you want to be, and just keep moving forward with that. So it's just talking about, it's kind of like the phoenix from the ashes. You just kind of get back up on the horse and reinvent yourself and rebirth yourself to be whoever you want to be. So, and then July is, when the flowers are starting to bloom and things like that. So they too are rebirthing. So
right.
It's just the way that we go through things. So I think that one's going to be a.
And I think too, if you're coming through any kind of if you've been into alcohol or anything like that, this is the time that's telling you to step that up and give up the habits that have been flagging you and pulling you back and not allowing you to be the person that you want to be. Allow yourself now to see the possibilities that are ahead of you and where you could be traveling in the future. And that's what rebirthing is about. Don't let all that stuff that's stuck here hold you back, or anything. Don't let it hold you back anymore. July will be of rebirthing and taking control.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Okay.
Okay. And mine is resilience. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So what I'm picking up with this is as you're rebirthing, to know that you have the resilience to get through this. So it's just like really pull from yourself of where you want to be going and what you want to be obtaining going forward from July, as you're rebirthing yourself. It's telling you, you've been in the past, you've had to come out of this, and you've come out in a really good spot where you have this strength and you have this power. And it's just saying, remember how far you've come. Like, even look back, like, how far have you come in a month? How far have you come in 6 months? Because I think so often we just like day to day are like, oh, we're not achieving anything. But if you think of where you were a month ago or 3 months ago, it's a huge difference of where you are in today. And it's just to tell you that you can get through this. You can get through it. Yeah. If you're giving up the things that are holding you back, whether that's addictions of any kind or what it is, know that you have the resilience to get through it.
Two, I think I hear so many people say, well, I've had so many problems and I can't seem to get on top of it. Number one, stop thinking that way. Have the resilience to say, no, I'm not going to be in that position. I'm going to be on top of this. I'm going to be on top of this. Because if you don't have the failures, you don't know how you're achieving. So you have to have some failures in order to see how you've pulled yourself out of the ruts, how you've been achieving to move yourself forward. Because when you do that, then you get what you need to pull you and keep you going. So don't allow anything to pull you back. Just instead of saying, oh, it just seems like everything just pulled me down, don't say that anymore. Say to yourself, I can do this. And it's going to just keep getting better because I'm going to make it.
Yeah. Positive words, positive things for yourself, and just know that as you're rebirthing and having this resilience, that you're creating your own new life right now, and move forward with that. So you want that to be a positive thing. So.
Very good. I like that. Okay, next one. This one is called self-destruction. Sometimes we get ourselves in destructive manners where we start doing things and we keep doing them and we know it's destructive to how we're doing it because nothing's moving forward. So we're self-sabotaging ourselves. It's saying don't do that. And like if you pull yourself away from anything, that if you're in a habit of doing something that's self-sabotaging or pulling you backwards, change it right now. So when the month of July comes, you're already one step ahead of where you need to be traveling in order to achieve the things that you're looking for and fulfilling your dreams. So to me, that is saying, don't keep looking at that. If something looks like it's caution, it's giving you caution, take the caution. Okay, look at it. Don't go there. But if it's something that's in front of you and it's saying like, maybe I should take this chance and it'll be good, try it. I mean, it's just going to pull you out of where you've been and push you forward to the places where you want to go. So don't keep self-sabotaging yourself because you don't feel either you're worthy or whatever you think is pulling you backwards and making you feel in a depressed or whatever way. Don't let that happen. Allow yourself to go bypass it and start seeing yourself as a happy, resourceful, content individual where you won't self-sabotage yourself. You just won't do that anymore.
Yeah. And
all that for you.
I just feel like with this is such a good time to do kind of that deep dive as you're kind of rebirthing yourself, because yes, if you've had any kind of self-destructive behavior, and we all are that way, especially when we start internalizing a lot of things about ourselves, it's like this is your time to rebirth. So leave that in the past behind you. Take what you've learned from being self-destructive in those different ways and how that's crumbled your life, and how can you use that and flip it onto the other side to be more resourceful and do things that are actually going to help you. And then I really think it's saying that when you are, because of course, as we go through times, we do get feeling in this self-destructive mode, like, why do we deserve this? Do I have imposter syndrome? And I was just listening to Reverend Arlene today, and one of her things that she was talking about on her podcast was about fear and self-destruction and imposter syndrome. And so it really, to me, this card is saying, try to leave those things in the past. And when you can't, then call on your friends and call on your family and call on your soul tribe that's going to help you through these self-destructive behaviors. Yeah. So that's what I
think too, sometimes we don't realize that we are on a self-destructing kind of behavior because we don't give ourselves the time to really think about how we're leading yourself into those troubled times. Sometimes it's just a matter of taking the time to sit back for a little bit and realize that you're setting yourself up. You're the one that's actually setting yourself up for sabotage and all the rest of it. So if you have that caution in your mind, then you won't do that again. I have a thing that I try to do. And if I do something silly, because I can be pretty naive sometimes, if I do something silly, I try to laugh at myself. Because if you do something and oh, why did I do that? That was so dumb. Then all you're doing is thinking on a negative pattern, and that's self-sabotaging yourself. So I try to laugh it off and go, oh, well, it happened. It won't happen again. I'll be paying attention. I don't want that to happen again, right? So you're being aware. I guess that's where I'm coming from with that. Yeah. Is you're being aware that you're doing that. And if you're saying to yourself, well, you're going on the downside, you're not changing it.
Yeah.
If you're on the upside, say, oh, shit, that's too bad I did that. But oh well.
What lesson did I learn, right?
What is that supposed to be about? And you're right. What lesson did I learn from that? And then it helps you to move forward so that you're not in that downslide, downslide at all. You don't need to be on the downslide. It's not supposed to be happening.
No, that's a very good thing to share.
Okay.
Okay, and this is Oshun the Protector. So this is just talking about setting your boundaries, making sure that as you're going through this rebirthing time, that you're surrounding yourself with people that are supportive and people that are going to listen to you. And this is the time when we're rebirthing to get rid of things and people that aren't in our favor, right? They're not doing us any justice. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to cut off all things if it's family or whatever, but you know who is good for you and you know who is not good for you. And so I think it's just really asking you to set those boundaries for those people that are not good for you and are not helping you move forward in life, to say, maybe you're going to take a back burner over here, or maybe you don't need to be part of my life anymore. And these are hard truths that we have to say to ourselves, but it just feels like this is really a time to do that and know that you are protective, especially when you are surrounding yourself with the people that are meant to be in your life, and calling on your angels and calling on your guides or your ancestors, whatever you believe in, to help you through this time, because it's really a time of starting new. And this year is a year about endings and transformation and things like that. So why don't we end the things that don't serve us anymore and start transforming ourselves to the things that we really want to see in our future?
And I agree with you 100%. Like, you've got the protection around you. All you have to do is ask for it. If you ask your spirit guides to be there for you and you want the protection around you, they do listen to you, believe it or not. And you just have to believe that they're listening to you, because they need that too. They need that reassurance from you too, saying, oh, okay, we're together on this. So yeah, I can protect them for the things that they need to do or want to do for themselves, sort of thing. I think too, with the protection too, what it's saying to you is, again, you're rebirthing. So allow the rebirthing to come to you so that you do have the protection of all your spirit guides and stuff. If you're a person that doesn't really want to go into associations with other people and stuff, you can still pick up books or watch movies or podcasts or things like that. That gives you the incentive or the inspiration to go after the things that you want. If you're just not a group person or whatever the case may be, you can still reach out and get it in all kinds of different avenues that's going to help you. So remember that there's always some kind of help that you can go forward to ask for or look for. With AI today, I mean, everything's possible, it seems like, anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we still have so many more things that are going to be happening in this world. We predicted a little while ago that there was going to be galactic stuff, that we were going to see more celestial stuff in the skies and stuff. And that's definitely been happening. And that's only going to be even more so coming up here with where we're sitting in the earth and everything else, and what's going on with the sun, moon, the stars, and all the rest of it. But those possibilities, those planets, and everything else, bring all kinds of new energies too. And all those different energies are supposed to be for us to use in a positive manner. There's always going to be the negative part, but this is already talking about how we're going to keep away from the negative part of it and bring the positive things towards us, so all these other things don't complicate our lives as such. And if something you don't like it, like Kim said, if there's somebody around you don't like it, or something that's happening around you don't like, walk away from it. Leave it. And I know it sounds difficult for some to go, oh, how can I do that? Because I got this and that. But think about the way out of it too, and stop bringing the guilt and that kind of thing into the whole scenario of it, because then it just makes your decision making even harder.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that.
No. And the more positive you can be, the more you open doors for positivity to happen for you. And it's something that I've been noticing lately, is just some changing things for me And, you know, it's just like then the more that I invite it in, the more these good things keep happening. And I don't really know where it's going to lead me down to, but I'm opening the doors to say, hey, I'm open to trying this and trying to rebirth myself and create some new different things, right? So, and it just keeps showing up every day in that way. And like they say, leap in the net will be there because the universe is going to support us in what we want to do. So when we make these positive jumps, the net's going to be there. So if there's something crazy that you want to do, why not try it?
But yeah, and every experience, you know, I try to think of it as is if it's an experience that wasn't so great, try to think of it as like, what was my lesson in this that I don't want to repeat?
That's it.
If I think about that, and okay, what was this lesson? It might take a little bit for you to sort of bring it together to realize what the real lesson was. But once you realize that lesson was, oh, you get that aha moment where you go, I that's what that was about. Oh shit, don't want to do that again, right?
Right.
So then it makes you cautious of how you could change it. It makes you change that self-destruction part of yourself that you normally would be and put it in a different manner, right?
Yes,
and let the
absolutely.
protection of the spirits above come down and be with you, like Kimmy said.
Yeah.
And
So we think that was a lot of information for you guys, but it is really about moving yourself forward. And, you know, we all have choices about how we want to show up in this world and the things that we want to accomplish. And so this is saying, you know, July 1, take that step and see where it goes.
yeah, and don't let people that don't want to do anything in their lives pull you backwards, because there's going to be always somebody there that doesn't care about where they're going in this lifetime. But if you do and you have dreams that you're trying to fulfill, just don't be around those people anymore. Allow yourself to be around beautiful, positive, either people, books, podcasts, whatever the case may be, to help you reseed yourself to the next wherever you want to be traveling to. So don't forget that.
Yeah. And if you want to share any of your rebirthing stories and what
Yeah.
you're aiming, we'd love you to DM us and, you know, let us know what your path is on so we can, you know, cheer you on from the sidelines. We'd love to do that. So,
Yeah, it's so nice to hear them. And plus, maybe you'll want to come on our podcast.
exactly. And we thank you for joining us for another monthly reading, and we will see you on the next one.
You will.